Hey, honey, you can't spend the whole day looking out the window. Why don't you find something to do?
Can I have a cookie?
It's almost dinner time. Now. What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted a hug.
All better now? Okay. I gotta get back to work.
Jody,
Honey, would you do me a favor? Could you give me a bottle of oil from the garage?
Sure, no problem.
Are you okay? Oh, it's a light bulb, sweetheart. I've asked your father to change that a million times.
I saw something there, Mommy.
You must have just imagined it. There's nothing, look. You know, sometimes adults imagine things too. It's okay. Hey, sweetheart, why don't you go play out in the yard? I'll call you when dinner's ready. Honey, put your coat on. It's freezing out there.
I'm going. Great, Doug can be bored and freezing. You don't care, do you? You never get cold. Show yourself, dummy.
Okay,
I just found a way to have some fun.
okay.
I know we're not supposed to. Come on. Just spend some time to do that.
You can at least put your hand in.
You're the best.
Hey, Jody, you want to play with us? Come on, hurry up and hide then. You're going to get creamed.
Come on, let's get it. I'm gonna make you Come on, let's get it.
on.
Get in
Get
there.
in the house.
What happened?
What were you doing in the street?
You know
You know you're not allowed to leave the yard.
Saw the other kids playing. I just wanted to have some fun.
What did you do to that boy?
Philip.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. He was trying to defend me. He thought.
I'm sick and tired of your stories.
Jody,
Jody,
this
this
time
time you're really gonna get it now.
Go to
Go to your room.
Now.
Now. Try to do some sleep, sweetheart. Everything will be better in the morning, okay? Night-night.
Mommy. I'm afraid of Mom. Mommy. They're gonna get me.
And you know monsters don't exist. I'll leave the light on in the room, okay? Get some sleep, sweetie.
Go away! Hey! It's your fault my parents don't love me. You hear me? Go away!
You see what she did. Susan, that's not Susan, that's a monster. The things that happen around her, Susan, stop turning on us. Susan, that thing is like uncontrollable. No, it's escaping along. Even me, was like a roof. It's gonna stop now. Before we end up crazy or dead. We agreed to look after a little girl, Susan, but not this. Not this.
There's no reason to be scared, Aiden. We're going to sleep, and nothing is gonna happen. exist.
Jody.
Get up.
Get up.
Huh?
What's going on?
Get
Get
dressed.
dressed.
I'll
I'll
explain
explain in the car. The DPA has launched a program to study the other side, the intraballistic holes. They've created a condenser, a scene to open a rift to what lies beyond.
The basement? The items room?
Something happened last night. Entities got through the rift and we couldn't shut down the condenser. Everybody in the building was slaughtered. None of the rescue teams came back. They called us, asked for your help. I told them you were just a child, that it was too dangerous. They know only you know how to deal with what lies beyond the veil. Jody,
If you
if you don't want to do it, just say,
and
I'll take you back.
I'll do it.
What are you thinking?
He's
He's the only one that can stop this. I'm sorry. She can go. Like 10 minutes ago. Condenser is in the lower basement. You need to find the control room. That's all they can tell me.
speaking out against the war, and not like in this weird activist way. Not weird, but not saying I'm an activist. But like just saying the common sense thing, and being brave enough to say the common sense thing without like having a big sign and saying I'm going to be the anti-war candidate or something like that. Just saying this is not a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it's for those of us who are old enough to remember, it's pretty despicable what happened with Tulsi in 2020. She was the biggest anti-war candidate, and she was marginalized within her own party, which I guess you can make sense. She's just a congresswoman from Hawaii. But the corporate press did everything in their power to diminish her and pretend she didn't exist. And for those of us who remember where 12 years prior, when George W. Bush had the Republican National Convention in New York, it was the biggest protest in history, and the Iraq War led to Democratic landslides in 2006 and 2008. To have that completely not part of the Democratic Party in 2020 is both shocking and reprehensible.
Hey, Michael.
You don't have to say, "Hey, Michael," you just say, "Knock, knock."
That's not a knock.
Oh, okay. Hey, yourself.
What did the volcano say to his true love?
What?
I love you.
These jokes are better when you know how to speak English.
It was actually in Russian. I did Google Translate. Back to your book and the suffering. You somehow turned it positive, and as one who's the representative of the black pill in this conversation, what are some of the darker moments? What are some of the hardest challenges of putting together this book? White pill.
Content. So if I'm having a page about Reagan taking on Gerald Ford in the 1976 presidential primaries, I'm going to have to read like 20. So, and it's the thing, like if there'll be sometimes I'll remember some quote somewhere and then I have to spend an hour trying to find it because I want it to be as dense with information as possible.
Like how do you structure the main philosophical ideas you want to convey? Is that already planned out?
No, the book changed entirely from its conception. So my buddy Ryan Holiday had a series of books, still does, where he takes the ideas of the Stoics and he applies them to contemporary terms. He has this whole cottage industry that he's doing very well with. And I'd asked him years ago if I could do that with Camus, and he's like, sure, go for it. And I was going to rework Camus' The Myth of Sisyphus, and I read it recently. I reread it, and this wasn't the book I remembered at all. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to write the book that I remembered. But the more I was writing it, one of the things I always yell at conservatives about, there's a long list, is they don't talk about the great victory of conservatism, which was the winning of the Cold War without firing a shot. And I said, you can't expect the New York Times to tell this story because the blood is on their hands. And I'm like, well, Michael, instead of complaining about it, why don't you do it? Why don't you talk? That is a great example of the good guys winning over the bad guys. And that's become, it's the victory is beautiful, but also pointing out to people, when people are like, oh, things are worse than they've ever been, they don't appreciate how bad things were in the 30s, what Stalin was doing overseas, and how people in the West were advocating to bring that here. So that's kind of pointing out how bad things were and how good they became. And you don't have to be a Republican or conservative to be delighted at the collapse of totalitarianism and the peaceful liberation of half the world.
So that's a picture of the good guys winning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how does that connect to Sisyphus? And maybe speak deeper to life and whatever the hell this thing is, which is what I remember the Myth of Sisyphus being about. So where does the thread of Camus sort of lie in the work that you're doing?
So the Myth of Sisyphus, what I had remembered correctly, is actually just a 5 to 7 page coda to the whole book at the very end. Like you only need to read that little essay called The Myth of Sisyphus. The broader work is about Camus' concept of the absurd and the absurd man within literature, and and it's just like, I don't really care about this character in Dostoevsky and all this other stuff that you're talking about. It's no relevance. But the Myth of Sisyphus, the myth itself, not the book or the essay of his, is this Greek character, and Sisyphus is forced in hell to roll a rock up a hill for eternity. At the very last moment, the rock falls away. And Camus' takeaway from the story is that we must imagine Sisyphus happy. And there's several interpretations of this, but one is, once you accept that you are living an absurdist existence, once you own your reality, it loses its bite. And you can start with that as your kind of baseline.
And bite is suffering.
And hopelessness. So I think when people look at how much ridiculousness is happening in America and it's escalating, you can either think, oh, all is lost, or you can, and I think you and I have lived our lives like this, you can live life more like a surfer, whereas you're never going to control the ocean. But you can sure enjoy that ride and stop. If you're trying to control the waves, yeah, you're done. But if you're like, all right, I've got my board, I'm going to see where this takes me, certainly trying to understand some pretty fun activities. And also sometimes dangerous.
The entities around the rift, they're not like Ivan. They're from the depths of the other side. We know almost nothing about them.